More than 28,000 domestic abuse incidents were reported to law enforcement in Wisconsin in 2011. Those are the most recent statistics available.
As part of his new proposed budget, Governor Walker wants to put more money towards GPS tracking devices for certain offenders receiving a first-time restraining order. But will the devices help keep victims safe?
News 8's Pauline Lee joins us now with a closer look at the issue.
Well, last year alone, New Horizons Shelter and Outreach Center in La Crosse provided more than 250 domestic abuse victims, men, women, and children, with a safe place to stay. That's equivalent to about 6,000 nights. Now, that number has steadily grown in recent years. Now, with the governor's new initiative, domestic abuse advocates say it's a step in the right direction. At New Horizons Shelter and Outreach Center in La Crosse, providing safety to victims of domestic abuse is a top priority.
There is fear when a victim leaves a domestic violence situation. That is the most dangerous time.
But now, to help calm fears, Governor Walker's next proposed budget will include a $3 million grant program giving courts the ability to require tracking devices for dangerous offenders receiving first-time restraining orders. While Beard says that may provide some comfort to victims, it may also do the opposite.
It also may create a false sense of security for the victims. Thinking that the abuser is being watched constantly, where that may not be the case.
In a given year, La Crosse County Deputy District Attorney Crystal Jensen handles about 220 felony domestic abuse cases. She sees the GPS tracking devices as a beneficial tool, but has concerns in determining who needs to wear one.
That is obviously a significant intrusion into that person's life to be monitored by the government.
Jensen says the change could also lead to larger caseloads.
I think that when it comes to safety, public safety, and especially safety for domestic violence victims, that's work that we're willing to take on.
But Beard says the GPS monitoring devices can't be the only change. Accountability needs to happen too.
We've talked with victims that, have called police time and time again, and if nothing happens, they lose faith in the system, and that's when we see some dangerous situations happening.
Now, in certain domestic abuse cases, the state of Wisconsin already allows the use of GPS tracking devices. Baird also says something else that needs to be done is not only a support system for the victim, but also a support system for the abuser, so they can get right on the right track and the abuse can stop.
Thank you, Pauline. The governor's $14 million law enforcement budget also includes funding for sexual assault victim services, internet crimes against children, and obtaining DNA samples for all felony arrests.